We are in the business of lighting people's lives. We have a vision of making renewable energy 70% by 2030. That is our goal as a country. We have our own target. We want to contribute 2000 megawatts by 2028 from our portfolio. So it can be in Sri Lanka and also from East Africa. We are in the business of lighting people's lives. Our company is incorporated in 2019, and there are two main strengths in our company. One is we are a company which resurrected through pandemic, and we are a registered company in Singapore, and we are doing our international operations from there. Secondly, we are an energy sector market disruptor. At the moment, we have around 450 people working under us directly. And indirect staff, we have around 2,000. And during the pandemic season also, we were a company who never gave up. We were continuing our projects. Even through the pandemic and crisis, we were active in our sites. So still, we have more than 35 sites at the moment. So I can say, we have created more than enough opportunities compared with the size of the company. If you look at the Sri Lanka context, we have a vision of making renewable energy 70% by 2030. That is our goal as a country. And likewise, the entire world, even if you look at the East African region, India and other Asian countries, we all have a renewable target. The countries and as a world, we are moving towards a renewable energy target. The petroleum and fossil fuels are limited. And on the other hand, those are not environmental friendly. So that's the one reason that the entire world is moving towards renewable energy. Ceylon Energy, we have a target. We have our own target. We want to contribute 2,000 megawatts by 2028 from our portfolio. So it can be in Sri Lanka and also from East Africa. So this is how we are supporting for the sustainable development and renewable energy aspects. As I mentioned earlier, we have introduced a foundation solution system called helical anchors. This particular discussion was starting since 2016. With the utility company, that is Ceylon Electricity Board in Sri Lanka. So initially there was a resistance inside because it's a new thing to the market. Nobody has done this in the entire Asian region. It's only practiced in South America and Australia and some places in Europe only. And the first time in history we are putting up something like this, so we are bringing technology to Sri Lanka. So there was a lot of resistance to change, I would say. By 2018, we got the first project in Sri Lanka. It's a small project, but we did it with flying colors because it was inaccessible in a paddy field where you can't put any excavators or any big machines. So we did the project within 3 days. We completed the entire foundation and we put up the tower. Then the first time in history, we have proved everyone wrong. So we have disrupted the entire thing, and then they started believing the system. And then we got another big project, which we are currently working. There's around 450 tower footings, and it's one of the largest projects in Sri Lanka as we speak. We are putting up these foundations. With this, the crisis came, and there was import restrictions. So initially, we were bringing these items from US. So my partner is Hubble Power Systems. They are manufacturing this in US, Centralia, and we were importing all these things from US. And in 2019, 2020, we had the COVID impacts and the post-economic situation where we can't import anything. So then what we did, we negotiated with the US company and asked them to give us a license to manufacture these items in Sri Lanka. So not only they gave us the license, they gave us license plus they gave us authority to export this to 5 other countries, to Kenya, India, Australia and New Zealand. So as we speak, we have set up our facility at Chapugaskanda. We are manufacturing helical anchors now, and we are supplying these helical anchors to our local projects under the licensee of US. In layman's term, I would say this is the one of the project in the recent history after the government industries where we have taken the licensee from US companies. So we can cut down on the time and the cost drastically. And even if you look at the environmental impacts, we can reduce through new innovations. Helical anchors come into the scene to reduce this carbon footprint because these foundations can be removed and it actually drastically reduces the cost. And again, there's another application, another product that we have introduced to Sri Lanka, that is ACCC conductors, where in US and other Asian countries it's vastly popular now. The technology is around 20 years. So now the conventional conductor is steel and aluminium. We call it ACSR, where inside the conductor there's a steel core. So we replace this core with carbon fiber. It's a carbon fiber. So if you know the carbon fiber, it's lightweight. It can carry more strength. So the impact of this is we can simply carry double the current in a normal conventional transmission line. So we are introducing this technology to the system. We are working with government entities like CEB. So basically what we are approaching is the reconductoring. So if there's an existing tower line connecting two cities or connecting two provinces, we are using the existing tower line and we are reconductoring. In the sense, we are removing the existing conductor, we are putting up the new conductor with ACC. So then what happens is you don't have to do the complete project again. You don't need to put up new towers or acquire new lands. So otherwise, the environmental impacts and the acquisition of land is a hectic issue these days. It can be a government sector project or a private sector project, but still these problems are existing and it is very hard to tackle those issues. So whereas from this technology, you use the old towers, old foundations, you are simply removing the conductor and putting up a new conductor. And this particular conductor can carry double current because of the carbon fiber core inside that cable. So likewise, these are drastical changes in saving carbon footprint. We celebrate our 5th anniversary this year, so we are more or like a startup. But I have a legacy of more than 20 years working in the energy sector. At the moment, we have done 3 1 megawatt projects completed. That is, 1 megawatt project is around 5 acres of land, and we have completed those projects in Sri Lanka. 2 weeks back, we signed a 10 megawatt solar power plant in Hambantota. That is our latest project that we are going to start, and we are going to complete it within 2 years, and we are going to give power to the grid. And apart from that, we are looking for more innovative ideas together with, because we are actively involved in the African region also. We have our presence in Kenya. So we are working with those utility companies and policymakers to implement more renewable energy projects in those countries as well. I actually had enough chances to give it up. If I studied in University of Liverpool and I got a first class, I would have easily worked there and stayed in UK since 2012. But since 2012, I came back to Sri Lanka. I started developing the company and I have started Ceylon Energy now. So I have that peace that I should develop the nation, my own nation, and I should contribute to the nation. At the same time, whatever challenges come, I'm not a person who gives up. But I never did that. I stayed and I pushed back. I never gave up and I continued my journey. And I am happy to say I have one of the largest partners at the moment from China. The message for the upcoming entrepreneurs is businesses are not easy. People think businesses are easy. It's not easy. It's actually one of the hardest things in the world. I have read a book by Ray Dalio. It says winning an Olympic easy than doing a business correctly. Because there can be businesses where they are not doing correctly. And after 8 years, after 9 years, if your business is still standing, you are actually in the 3% of the world. Most of the startups, it fails after 3 years. The factor is don't give up, because all the other things will align. It can be financials, it can be people, it can be strategies, it can be the sales. Those things will align. But as the leader of the firm, you should never give up. Sometimes you will lose the people next to you. You will lose your general managers. You will lose your directors. But as the owner of the vision, as the owner of the company, you should never give up your company.